Hi everyone, welcome back to Karate Automation Testing Series. So today we are going to learn about how to configure the logs in Karate. So as we discussed in the last class, so we know how to write the feature file and how to execute the feature by using a test runner. So here just I'm running my test by using this sample runner. So just I'm executing this one. So if you observe this console, the execution started and you can see the console here. Okay, so once the execution is ended, we can see the HTML report, Karate HTML report here. Okay, once you open this one, just I'm copying and just paste in the browser. I'm just pasting the browser. You can see the Karate report. So when I'm clicking on the HTML report, so I can see the console logs here. Okay, in the same way, if you open this one, you can see so much of information here and you can see so much of information here. Okay, so but if you see your console, there are so much of unnecessary information. We don't need all this information for each and every execution. So for that one, we need to configure the log here. So in the Karate, so how to avoid this unnecessary information printing in the console as well as the HTML report. So how we can configure this one. So go to Karate official documentation, Karate official documentation. Karate official documentation. So we know here. So just go to report here. In this, we need to work with the logging. So just I'm clicking on the logging. So you can see the logging here. So this is, if you read this one, the basic information, this is an optional and Karate will work without the logging configuration in place, but the default console logging may be too verbose for your needs. Yes, this is true, right? So Karate is working. So we are able to run our feature file and we are able to generate the report and we are able to see the report here, HTML report here. So this Karate, this logging is an optional for Karate. So, but this Karate, if you are not using this logging, so you can see too much of verbose here. So you can see so much of information, so much of unnecessary information in your console log as well as your HTML report. So to avoid this one, so we have one solution here. So that is logback test dot logback test XML. So this we need to configure with our Karate framework. So then we can see the meaningful logs in the console as well as the HTML report. So how to do this one? So first what we need to do? So we need to configure this logback test XML file in our class path. So what is our class path here? So in the class path, if you go to our project explorer, so we are working with this Maven project. So in the Maven project, source test Java is our basic class path. So just right click, new file. Okay, just open a file and go to this documentation and the exact name you can copy from here. Okay, just I'm copying from here and I'm pasting the same file name and I'm just keeping the just finishing this one. So you can see right in our class path source test Java. So I created a logback test XML file. and I will copy the same logback sample file here. I'm taking from our documentation. Okay, just paste here. Okay, so if you paste this information here, then the logback test XML file is ready. Okay, so now if you understand this one, so this we are configuring this logback test XML file we are configuring. So to modify the information, to view the required information in our console as well as the report file. So there are three different types of levels. So one level, if you come here, this line number 17, if you observe this level is debug level. Okay, so if you are running your feature file in debug level, so you can see the different types of output in the console and the HTML reports, and there are other levels also. So the levels, one is info. We can run in the info level, or we can run in the debug level, or we can run in the warning level. So we can print the console in these three levels. We can run in the info level, we can run in the debug level, and we can run in the info level. So now we are going to see if level is debug, how the log is printing here. If the level is debug, how the log is printing here, and if the one uh, how the console and the HTML report is generating. So based on this one, based on the output, so based on your requirement, so you can log your console, or you can generate your HTML report based on the required level. You can decide based on your project and your requirement. Okay, so now my level is default. So how we copied from here, so it is debug. Just I'm running in the debug mode. Okay, just go to our runners. Just I'm rerunning again. So now you can see, right? So before this one, we can see this much information. Then how it will print after configuring this logback test XML file. Okay, run as sample runner. Okay, just I'm waiting for execution. Now see, my execution is completed and my karate HTML report is ready. So before going this, just scroll up, just scroll up, just scroll up. You can see here, right? You can see now I am avoided so much of unnecessary information. Okay, if you go here, so then this is this is started execution, and this is my get request, and this is the response. The response JSON is here. So whatever is required, that required information is here. So now in the second API, so my second API is failed. So the reason is here. So status code was 403, expected is 200. I am expecting 200 status code, but it is this API is giving the 403 response. That's why it is failed. So you can see in the report. So there I ran two scenarios. One is passed and one is failed. Okay. So, but if you see this, if you see this first one, you can see the report here, and then I'm just copying from this report, just paste in your browser. Okay, so you can see the necessary log here. So much of verbose we avoided, unnecessary logging information we avoided from this one. Okay, so this is with the debug. So now if you are making as info in place of debug, I am keeping info. Okay, just run with the log level as info. Now run as sample runner. Okay, just observe the difference when the level is debug and when level is info. Just I'm waiting for the console output. See, you can see, right? So now my console is too small. Okay, I just given the response code and I generated the report. So generated report is here. So if you compare the before and after, so when the level is debug and whenever level is info, so then the difference is very high. Okay, what is the difference? So just copy and paste here. Okay, so same report, the HTML report is generated, but if you open this one, then you can't see much logs here, only the failure reason is here. Okay, so what is the difference? You compare these two. This is with the level debug and this report with the info. Okay, so when when the log level is info, so we can reduce the amount of logging. So you can see, right? So the amount of logs are very small. So this is giving the required information here whenever we are working with the info. And whenever we are working with the debug, though here the entire request. So whatever the request we are sending and whatever the headers we are passing, they are request headers. So whatever the response it is giving, so everything, the entire request and response payloads are logged under this console as well as the in the HTML report. So that is the difference between the if the log level is info and log level is debug. So if you want to see the whole response and request, so then you can work with the debug. So you can set your log level as debug. So if you don't want all those things, just you want to know the basic information, then you can configure your log level as a info in this log dot uh, logback test XML. So you can make it as info. Okay. So now, so if the log level is debug. Now we know. So it is giving all the request and response payloads. It is logging. Okay. But if you comment this line number 20, so just comment this one, then rerun again. So then you will see the difference. So what difference you can see? So just I'm logging here, I'm running this one. Okay, this is running. Just wait for to run the complete. So now it ran and the execution is completed. But if you observe this one, so now just now we discussed about if the log level is debug, then we can see all the request payloads and response payloads and all the request information, response information will be logged under the console. But it is not logged now. So if you don't want to see all the information in your console, but you want to see in your report, then you can comment this line appender reference std out if the level is debug. So then what will happen? So the total console log will be captured in the HTML report, but not in the console. You won't see in the console, but that will be available in the HTML report. So just copy. So we don't see all those things here in the console, but I'm just copying this report, HTML report generated by Karate execution. So then I'm pasting here. I am pasting here. Okay. See, now if you click on this one, then you can see all the information. So if you don't want to view in the console, but you want to see everything logged under your HTML report, so then you can use this one. You can comment this line number 20 and you can start executing your feature files. This is one more. So one level is info, one level is debug, and one is level debug, and you can comment the reference in the console. So then you can avoid all the unnecessary logging. And one more thing, so there are different levels I shown you, right? One is info and one is debug. And there is one more information level is warning. Okay. So if you don't want to see all the information in the console, but if you want to see the critical logs in your console, then you can use this warning level. So you can add this one under this appender. Okay. So this is one more appender here. I'm adding under these two appenders. So this is one appender and this is one appender. This is one appender. Now this is with the warning. So now if you execute this one, if there is any important logs are missing, so whenever you are working with the info or whenever you are working with the debug, but if you want to see all the important logs in your console as well as in HTML report, so you can use the one. So these are the three different types of logger levels we can use along with our Karate automation framework, and you can view your important information in your console as well as the HTML report. So this is purely based on your project requirement, and if you want to understand everything in console and the HTML report, so you can set your log level by adding your logback test XML under your framework. And one more important thing, so once you configure this log backtest XML, you can see all the logs. You can see all the logs are captured under this target folder. So you can see one more subfolder as karate log. So every execution. So whatever the logs are generating based on your configured log level. So those all are captured under this log karate.log file. You can see right here. So this, whenever we started with the debug, level is debug, then it is captured everything. So you can see all the information, all the execution information under the karate.log under target folder. Okay, so this is the way you can use these tips to configure your karate log.xml file, and you can set your level based on the project requirement. Thank you.